guys, so I got several requests to do this video, and it's how I weaned Aria off the pacifier. I told you guys that we were in the process of getting Aria off the pacifier, and a lot of people told me, make a video when she's off her pacifier, let me know how you did it. So that's what this video is going to be about. And it's been about, let me say, 2 weeks since Aria hasn't had her pacifier, and it actually has gone really well. I mean, there was a few bumps, but she just doesn't ask for it anymore, and I'll get into that more because she was asking for it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. So Ian and I decided that, well, I suggested to Ian that I wanted to get Aria off the pacifier at 18 months, and he agreed. I think it was just time for us, and because she became so clingy to it, and she would be like so ornery at the store without her pacifier, and I was just like, you know what, it's time for her to go. Like, it's time to say bye-bye to Pass. That's what Aria called Pass, or pacifier. I mentioned in one video about the pacifier, trying to get Aria off of it, and I got a lot of suggestions on how I should get Aria off the pacifier. Oh, and another thing is she only had it, I would say around 15 months old. She only had it during her naps. No, not even naps. She would only have it at night. That was when I was trying to get her off the pacifier, when she was like 16 months. Somewhere around there, and she would only have it at nighttime. And then somehow slowly she had it more and more. Like, she started to have it around her naps again, and then it would be out in public, and then every time she would be in her car seat she asked for her pacifier. So this was like probably about, well, no, just a month ago it started where she wanted her pass more and more. And that's when I was like, you know, it's time to go. It's time to say bye to the pacifier, because she started becoming really clingy over it again. So a lot of people gave me suggestions, and I really appreciate that because it's really helped me. And, you know, I was still trying to figure out how I was going to do it, because before I wanted to do it cold turkey and it didn't really work. So this time around I wanted to do a different approach. So I got a lot of suggestions of people saying to cut the tip off of the pacifier, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. And this might work for some children, where you cut it off and then they just forget about it. But for Aria, I was like, okay, it's a good idea, we'll try it, you know, then she'll learn, you know, there's no more pacifier. But to be honest, it kind of like tormented her, and like she knew her pacifier was there, that was her pacifier, but she wasn't able to suck on it. So she got really frustrated when I gave it to her. When we decided to stop the pacifier, I gave it to her one time for nap, and it just, she kept trying to suck on it, and she was so frustrated, and like I felt like she was being tormented because, you know, there's her pass, but she's not able to suck on it. So, you know, for some kids that might work, but for Aria it didn't work, and I felt really bad about that. So what I came up with, and I think someone might have suggested this, or, you know, there was just so many different suggestions, but what I came up with was throwing it away. And I mean, not just tossing it away cold turkey. I gave it to Aria, and we like talked. I told her, which for being an 18-month-old, she like knows more than I give her credit for. Like, she understands a lot. So I talked to her, and I was like, it's time to get rid of Pass. We have to throw him away. And I just had a conversation with her about, you know, we need to throw it away. No more Pass. He needs to go bye-bye. So it was very important that I let her throw it away instead of me throwing it away. So we grabbed her pacifier, and I hid all the other ones. Actually, they're in a Ziploc bag in her closet where she can't see it, but I probably should throw them away. But we took her favorite one, and the one that we really only used, and I gave it to her, and I'm like, it's time for Pass to go in the trash can. And like I said, I think that was very important for her to throw it away instead of me, like for her to do that responsibility. So we threw them away, and she was okay. And I actually wrote down notes as the days gone by of how she adjusted with her pacifier. So for day one, let me find it. That nap is that day, the nap I gave her with the cutoff, and it tormented her. So when nighttime came around, she cried for a little bit. She just cried for a little bit. I think she probably thought in her mind, you know, Pass is still around, you know, I just don't have him tonight, you know, I threw him away. So I think she thought that was only temporary. So I think the worst day of them all, I actually hear her talking to herself while trying to take a nap. The worst day of it all was day 2. I think that's when she realized that he's really gone, and I don't have a pacifier anymore. So in nap time, she did hardly cry. She hardly cried. But that night, it was really bad. Like, she cried and cried for a long time. And this is when I think she realized And it wasn't like she was like in pain or, you know, it was a type of cry, because, you know, kids have different cries. It's just, I think she just realized like she was upset that he's really gone, and it was kind of sad. And, you know, I didn't want to give in at that point because she's already cried for him. So I thought, you know, if I gave her the pacifier, then she'll learn that if she cries for it, she'll get the pacifier. So at that point, I couldn't give in. I couldn't cave in because it would defeat the whole purpose of taking away the pacifier. So she finally went to bed on day 2. And then day 3 for her nap, she hardly cried. And like I said, I think day 2 was like the worst of it. Nighttime, she didn't cry at all actually that night. And then day 4, she cried for a little bit, but that's only because she was really overtired. And it was a late nap that day. And she was just looking for her pacifier for comfort because she was overtired. But then day 5 was actually day 5, and then from now on, she has not cried for her pacifier at all. I put her down for a nap, and I just hear her talking for a little bit, talking to herself, or at nighttime, she'll just talk for herself, or if she's like overtired, she'll cry for a little bit, but she needs to like learn how to soothe herself, so she has Monkey and her blanket and everything. But day 5 was the day that there was no more pass. And the only thing that I could complain about, or a downside about throwing the pacifier in the trash can, would be that every time I would go throw something away, because if your toddler is anything like my toddler, they follow you around everywhere. So anytime I would throw something away, go to the trash can, she would ask for pass. She'd be like, pass. And I'm like, no, there's no more pass. Remember, we threw them away, and Daddy's already threw them away in the garbage can. So she did that. She did that for a little while, actually. Here and there, she would ask for it, and she'd go pass, like that. Like she knew that he was gone, but she was still asking for him. And that would be the only downside. And you know, like I said, all children are different. Like they might, you know, handle taking away the pacifier differently, or you might have to choose a different method. But that's honestly what worked for us and what we did. And there's no more pacifier, like no more. And sometimes she'll still ask for him, and it's only been about a week and a half, 2 weeks since we took the pacifier. I keep saying him because we always referred to pacifier as a him. But yeah, it's only been about 2 weeks. So sometimes when I put her in a car seat, she'll ask for it. But that's the only time I've noticed that she does it in the car seat. She doesn't do it she hasn't asked for it like when I throw something away since we moved. So yeah, that's honestly how we got Aria off the pacifier. So now she's able to go down for naps, she's able to go to sleep without her pacifier, and I guess that's all. I feel like I had something else to say. Oh, something I totally forgot to mention is that it does take her a little bit longer to go to bed, but that's only because it's been 2 weeks, and it probably, as the time goes by, she'll fall asleep faster. But I have noticed that since she doesn't have her pacifier, it does take her a little bit longer to go to sleep, and I noticed she talks to herself more, because before she would just suck on her pacifier and then fall asleep. So I did want to mention that because she's still like adjusting to not being on her pacifier. But that's how we weaned Aria from the pacifier, and I didn't want to do it cold turkey like I thought I was going to do before. And you know that, and I came up with the idea, or maybe someone suggested it, and then it kind of stuck with me. I'm not sure. I don't know where I came up with throwing it in the trash can, but that's how it worked. And like I said, cutting it off didn't work for Aria because it just kind of like tormented her. But I thought it was going to be like a lot harder than it was because Aria was so attached to it. And like I said, the only day that was really, really upsetting for her was day 2. So yeah, that's it. I hope this helped, and hopefully it gave you guys suggestions if you're trying to wean and maybe you want to try it out. It might not work for all babies. Actually it won't work for all babies because every baby's different. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.